Coach, are you excited when you know you're going to have some certainty with one of your guys who just got extended in Kuzmenko?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very skilled guy. No, you have another 2 years. He can score. We're excited that we have him. You know, there's work to do with him to be a complete player, but one thing is he can score, and we're excited about that.
What have you seen from him in the short sample size you've had here?
Well, around the net, he's a bull. You know, that's where, you know, and obviously he's a talented guy, but a couple of goals that he scored in Chicago are the goals that you want. The give and go game with Petey, that was a hell of a goal. But we got to work on his defense. We got to work on some habits that we have some good coach here to work on with, to be a complete player. But definitely on that end, excited.
Two extremely different performances with you being on the bench. You know, and that's kind of been the hallmark of this team, a crazy level of inconsistency. What are you hoping for tonight?
Well, it's two versions, right? You got the, you know, but that, it's not that I wanted to see it, but it kind of gives me some bullets. The way you play this team, the way they play the one night and the next. Now I get it, and I think there's a lot of anxiety, and the couple weeks or whatever hit them. And Seattle was ready for us. I mean, they had a great game plan. I thought I had a good game plan, but we just could not execute, and we just looked like we're in quicksand. But that's what I was trying to tell the players is good structure. You know, smart plays. You can overcome that. You know, you can win those games. You know, 3-2. Your goalie plays well. Your power play well. You're not always gonna have your A game, but we were just completely off page. No support. You know, I'm a meet pressure with pressure. We were going away from pressure, and so two versions of the team. So we'll see what we got tonight before the long break.
It's not just the two versions of the team, but that might have been the best defensive performance, at least based on the scoring chances allowed against Chicago. And it was probably the most lopsided game they've played.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even more extreme than the inconsistency we've seen at this point. Do you think the emotional letdown?
I'm going to give him a break on that. I think the emotional over this time has kind of hit him, and I've been there before as a player when you don't have your legs and the emotion hits you. But, you know, it's hard to do the right things every day. You know, getting in front of a guy, you know, chipping the body, you know, middle drive, you know, make sure you're in the slot covering this guy, boxing out. It's hard to do it. And I'm not saying it's easy to do it one game, but it's hard to do it. All the good teams do it every night, are consistent. And we got a long way to go in this team to do that. And it starts with practice. Whenever I can have a practice, it's going to even get worse in February. I'm going to puke right now because but that's where it starts, and it starts with the mindset. So
With that, we weren't in the scrum, but we all heard your commentary. It seemed like you had a little bit of a reaction to the way your team had played that night. Something I wouldn't say an emotional reaction.
In Seattle, you mean?
Yeah, in Seattle. Given a bunch of time to sort of reflect, is there anything you can take away from that game, or is it just thrown out?
no, it's actually, you learn from it. Like, you know, I've talked to a couple of players, some leaders today. We were talking about it, how you know, we kind of threw the game plan out the window. You know, the coach, we have some great coaches. We have a game plan. We know Seattle, when they get the puck, they're taking off. And we had a game plan for that. We didn't obviously execute. You know, we didn't hold pucks. We just got to play a little harder. I know, like I said, it's back to back. I get all that, but good teams find a way to play the right way. And it's, you know, the most over cliched word. The 32 coach league will say the same thing, play the right way. It's about the mindset. Executing is the hard part.
Is the task in front of you over the next 33 games to figure out which guys really can do that? Because again, you're going to discover some guys.
I'm trying to be honest. I don't know what I have on certain aspects. I don't. But I know what I have in some players. But even before that stuff, we have to get the mindset different around here. There's got to be more trust with it. Everybody in that locker room, there's a little bit of mistrust, and that's my job to make sure it's trusting.
Is that what you see in your own zone, is the mistrust more than ever? You know, because the guys are running around, they're pro players, you know, 5 guys are on one side of the ice, they're running around.
Yeah.
It's hard to fathom. Where do you start with that?
Well, you start with the Chicago game, and then you build from that. But then, you know, obviously there's a little wrench in there with the Seattle game, but everybody's looking for results. I'm looking for the process, and there's another overused word we like to use, but it's true. And it's a mindset. We got to change the mindset around here. I've only been here a week, and there's got to be a different mindset and a different trust. The trust is there. We got to find it.
Is it trust in that, like, going back for a puck, you're cheating.
It's, it's everything. It's trust the way you practice. It's trust what you think of your teammate. It's trust as an organization. Every department has to trust each other. It's everything, for sure.
There's a month till the trade deadline. How much of your job?
I'm sorry?
There's a month till the trade deadline. How much of your job is giving your bosses, your new bosses, information code?
Yeah, I think, great organizations, great teams, the coach has to have a great communication with the management. But you got to rely on departments too that have watched these other players too. But yeah, you'd like, some kind of input for sure.
Your fresh eyes, I mean, that's kind of what.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
fresh,
You're the
100%.
You're the newest eyes to come in to say, here's what's going on, here's what's not going on.
Well, I think it's, when you wear a Canuck jersey, what team are they? What's the identity? That's my big thing. When you play the Canucks, what type of team are they? Hard team to play against, smart team, selfless team. Those are the attributes that I want to find for the Canuck logo. That's something we got to find here.
Rick, does it worry you that when we and Canucks fans hear your post-game in Seattle, it's like we've heard, this is
Yeah.
the third guy we've heard sound like this
Yeah.
over the course of 14 months. Does that concern you at all, or does that just lay apparent what your task is here?
Yeah, I can't speak for other guys. I just know where I am, and that's why I brought the staff I brought in, because I have high character. Trust me, I come in here naked here, I'd be in trouble. But I got some unreal player like Adam Foote, character guy. Sergei Gonchar, quality gentleman, character guy. Yozi's been around, smart guy. I got the twins who've offered to help me, and they want to roll, and I'm giving them a big piece of the pie. So I'm lucky I got like some really good guys around me to help me.
Rick, can you walk us through what's happening with Lane Peterson? Like, he was just out on playing with Peterson. Kuzmenko and gets reassigned to the AHL, we just saw announced.
It's all like paperwork type of thing, like players like him, he's trying to make it, right? And, we'd like them to, I haven't really talked to the guys upstairs yet, but about, continue this week developing himself by playing maybe down at Abbotsford. We haven't decided that yet, but, I talked to Peter, I'd want to play, like if you're trying to make the NHL. And the only reason I put them together, I think they had some success a week ago or something. Somebody told me that, so see if it helps.
Is someone coming up, or?
Well, we got to talk. We got to talk about that stuff.
Do you have any idea when Badger Demko might be back?
I'm not I don't want to give you a time frame, but whether it's a couple weeks, 2, 3 weeks, but he is making some good progress.
We've
And
seen
he's
him skating, but we haven't seen him in practice yet.
yeah, right, yeah.